G'day everyone, welcome back to Steve's Place Down Under. Today, due to popular demand off other platforms that we put shorts up of this, I'm going to start it up. It's not a will it start, I think it will. It's probably been about 12 years. When I first bought this place I had it going, but as you can see it's been repowered by a Holden 202, which is a copy off a Chev 6-cylinder. It's an Australian made engine. I'd done this, people were asking through comments why, who did it, and I did it because one, I wanted to. I like learning things like that, and the tractor was going to scrap. All the tracks were locked up. The engine was just completely rotted. The bores, the head, because it was full of water. So it was. I didn't have any money at the time to get it going, and I do still have that engine here somewhere, and nothing's been modified where it can't be put back in. So, and the reason I did it because it was going to scrap. So I give $1,000 for it. It was sitting up the back of where we work, and I had the engine, it was running on a stand, and I thought, why not do it? I was going to put a 318 Chrysler in it and call it a Chrysler pillar. I've still got it over there, a Dodge engine, but this one was running and it was much easier to do, so I thought, why not? It was about probably 16 years ago I put it together. I'll run through how I did it later on. We're just going to see if it starts up, and might drive it in and out of here and just show you all. It was very popular on other platforms, and it's much easier to go viral on those platforms, and people wanted to see it, so why not give it a go? I'm just going to check the oil in her. It's black, but it's there. It's on just a bit above full. I know a lot of you cat fans won't probably agree with what I've done here, but there are that many of these still in existence in Australia. It doesn't really matter, and as I said, I haven't heard anything. The cat engine would go straight back into it and everything would work fine again. Nothing's been modified. The exhaust even comes through the same hole. I made a frame up. The problem is with it, there's no governor on it, which these engines don't have in cars, and there's no weight to it, so it'd very easily stand up because it has got a lot of power still. We were using it. People asked, does it run, does it work, or is it just for show? Yes, it does run, and it does work very well. So last time I had it going, I think it was only running on 5 cylinders, but that was 12 years ago, so we'll see. It should still start. We'll just check the water in it. Some water. I've got it all here, so I didn't have to fuss around getting it all. Still the original D2 radiator. I just changed, welded some different pipe sizes together, reduce it to the size of the Holden. It's got a thermo fan on it because the Holden only has a little 4-blade fan, and not that it wouldn't work, but it was overheating at the time, and I have had the head off it. The head gasket was blown, and the valves looked okay, so I don't know why the miss. It's not a plug and it's not the valve, so I don't know what it is. Recently I've come across on our golf cart, it's got hydraulic lifters the same size, very much identical to these have got, or Chev engines, and they were seized, and when they're seized the valves are stuck open that little bit, so that could be the same with these. So I never looked much further. We just put it in here. It's when we moved here basically, so that's why I've never really looked further into it. Never had a proper cat radiator cap. That was always shoved in there. I'll put a battery on the side of it. It's all 12 volt. The engine's out of about a 73 model Holden car here in Australia. This is a 202 cubic inch. And they come out in 138. They come out in grey, red and blue engines. 138, 149, 161, 173, 186 and 202. I may have forgotten one, I'm not sure. But that's what they come out in, that's the sizes. And then the blues and the blacks I think were classed as 3.3s, which is 202. They had 3.3 on the block instead of 202. Hence the D202 we called it rather than Chrysler pillar, is what we would have called it with the Chrysler V8 in it. Be much better with a V8, but I think this is still cool. All the battery leads have been broken off it. I'm just trying to bodge it up so it does work. Still winds over. Just check it's got spark. I'll have to put some juice in it. Still running off the original diesel tank. This was a pilot start machine, had a cat pilot motor on it. Fuel tank's got a splash of stale shit left in it, but it's below the pickup, so it's not a lot. This is 98 octane. Freshen her up with that. I don't buy 91, these old engines don't like it much. It's much cheaper too. I'd rather pay the money and have it run. Just going to take the air cleaner off, make sure it's getting fuel to the carburettor. Obviously if it starts it's getting fuel, but I'd like to see if the bowl's filling up. Just check this glass bowl around here, it should be gravity fed to it. Trouble is checking these old things, that's going to stink bad. Real nice, is it? I can smell clean stuff in it. Glass is stained more than anything. There is fuel gravity feeding to it. Just see if it pumps up to the... I can see it's trying to. I think the throttle plunge is completely stuck. It's got fuel in the filter anyway. Okay. I'm just going to put some petrol down the carburettor and just see if it has got spark. It should fire straight up if it's... Well, she's definitely got spark, but it's not getting into the bowl, I don't think. Definitely there, but the needle, pull the top off that carburettor. I might just put a bit more in there and see if she forces her way through. It should keep running unless the carby's full of junk. Yeah. This is 2-stroke 2, so it certainly won't hurt lubricating the top of the engine. Okay. 12 years, that's not bad. Listen to that. I don't even think it ever run that good when we put it in here. bit of black smoke there. She's a bit fuely, but all the lifters are starting to charge and clack's going out of her. I think the needle and seat's stuck open a bit. It's flooding the buggery, but okay, and all what we're going to do now is start it up and see if it'll move. If you watch to the end, I will put some footage in from when we were very, very young adults, when I first got it going, when cameras were terrible. So don't let the footage turn you off. It was me and a few of my younger mates at the time. One of them actually turned 40 this weekend. That's why we're not focusing on the Kenworth, because we were away at his party and we were only probably 22 at the time. So my wife was there, much younger. Two of my mates, three of my mates were there. One is driving it, Shane's driving it, I'm hooking the chain up, and Josh is driving it. It's the actual slimline Volvo in there that I'll show you in a minute. When it was going, we got it stuck and we used this to pull it out. Then there's another one of me towing this tractor here. This is an OS6, Australian Orchard model, but same as a W6, International. When we first bought it, we're towing it off my blue Kenworth when it was a rigid. We drove all the way to Mudgee to pick it up, and we used that to tow it off. And if the video's long enough, we need more footage. There's one of me tow starting a Ford Dexter with it. So I was driving it and my uncle was on the Dexter. So don't let that footage turn you off because it was 16 years ago or something like that. So.
But you've been doing it for a very long time.
Very long time, yes. And I wish I had have been started then. I would have been massive now, but anyway. So if you're liking it so far, please subscribe. If you want to see this channel go past 2024 into 25, which is up in the air at the moment, if we can grow it a bit quicker than what it is and get some more views, that's what's going to be happening. So if you want to see that happen, please click the like button. That really helps. Please leave a comment, good or bad, doesn't bother me. And click the subscribe button. Costs absolutely nothing, just click it. Now we'll crank it back up. I'll get it down on the road, then I might do a walk around of how I fitted it if anyone's interested, or if you just want to skip to that, or if you're not interested, don't watch it. See if it starts again. I might just do a lap up and down the road, then put it away. This is nothing to do with the D2, but, well, it sort of is. I'm just giving you an example of what to expect if you do subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow it for, there is a reason behind it, but I just love sharing all my stuff. So 400 Transstar there, 871 in it, about a 1968, 69 model. This here's the Volvo that you will see if you watch to the end of my mate Josh, who turned 40 yesterday. Driving it, we got it bogged, and the D2 pulled it out. It's the reason it got bogged. It's got a Volvo suspension under it, single drive with a lazy, so it's only like a 30/70 share. So that axle takes a lot of the drive off it. It was just dry bogged. LNT 9000, we're going to get it on the road. It actually is registered, but I'm going to do a lot more work to it. 903 Cummins. This is the Kenworth you're going to see that was a rigid at the time. Originally prime mover, I linked it to a rigid when I was 20 years old. I only had a rigid license and not a trailer license, so I extended it. And then we shortened it back up, so it's back to factory spec. Oh, Kenworth there, oh, ex-Comet, White 4000, all GMs, those three. Heap of farm tractors here. They all go. We've got Inters, Caterpillar, Lance Bulldog there, very, very old Lance Bulldog, 1936. David Brown, Oliver, Alice Chalmers, Fiat, and we're actually doing up a twin steer Kenworth up there. That's the series that's happening at the moment, but due to me going away to the 40th this weekend, I thought I'd start the D2 for you, to not only to get a video out, but see if we can just get some more popularity on the channel. Okay, let's see if she goes and we'll drive it out. It's all seized, right? I knew it was going to stall. It's making no power at all running like that. Always runs good when you're not on it. The carby's going to need a tune up. Buy a reproduction one. I might even have one in there that's better. Don't fucking stop. Take the top off the carburettor. I think it's running out of fuel now. Before it was flooding, now it's not keeping up with it. It's got a Stromberg on it. They're fairly basic. All that old fuel's probably gone off to some degree in there. Actually still full. Oh, gasket's not real good. I've just gone in the shed to get another brown sandwich, and I found another jug, exactly the same, so I might just pop the top off it and see how clean it is inside. I was going to put it on that little Toyota forklift I've got, but I ended up finding other problems with it, so I don't even know what this is. It's off a Holden, but where I got it from is beyond me. I do have a few of these red engines I'm going to mount on a stand and start up too, which is coming up. If anyone's interested in that, learning more about these Holden engines, I've got a black one over there, complete, that was pulled out of a Commodore, which is a 3.3, I'm sure it is, and I've got a couple of 173s and a 186. They also made V8s, which are 253 and 308, and when they were blue, they were 4.2 and 5 litre. They've done black as well, actually. Yeah, she's certainly a lot cleaner, this one. I brought the wind over, I'll just blow her out. I actually got a 253 just sitting behind that Lance Bulldog next to us there, and I've sold it to a young bloke that's coming out to get it this weekend. And it was blowing smoke. My cousin and I put it in a little Bedford years ago and drove it round, but she was burning oil, so we took it out. And then, I don't know, I've got that much stuff here, I'm just trying to get rid of a bit of it. We ended up putting a 308, which is a 5 litre in it, and it's still in it to this day. I've never showed it on the channel. I showed a photo of the truck, but not it running. Also got another 253 down there I made into a coffee table in my old bar area when I had the other place. I think it was bought out. This one here is standard, this young bloke bought. I'd like another one complete running, actually. I reckon it'd fit straight into here without any effort. So if anyone's got a Holden V8 at home that does run or needs very little work, please let me know. I don't want it for nothing, I'll come and get it, as long as it's within the Sydney area. Not pulling any jets out of this. It's that clean, I can't see a jet being blocked, to be honest. Needle's free in it. All looks fine. So for those regulars that watch me, the 8-wheeler is still getting done, the Kenworth. As I said, I've been away this weekend. and I thought I'd give you all a video. Now I have got something else to show you too that has turned up in the meantime. I've got another semi-trailer, but I'll do a complete video and show you that. It was donated, but a bloke that doesn't even watch the channel, I'll explain how when that happens. So I've got another registered trailer to show you all, but that'll be another day, and we'll start the truck up, and it's right down the back, so I'll start the truck up and drag her up and do an episode of that too. So for those watching, I do have other earth movers, other farm tractors down the back. This is only a sample what's up here. Plenty of old prime movers, plenty of trucks, plenty of bloody, you know, farm tractors, loaders, dozers, forklifts, whatever you like, small engines. If you do like this with the Aussie touch to it, please share, please subscribe. We'll just drop this jug onto her and see if it does make a difference. I don't even think the mechanical advance, the vacuum advance is hooked up to the distributor, which would be making a difference, but I think that line melted or cracked, or I don't know if it was rubber or what it was. Just over here alone at the moment. My wife went to the house. She was filming. She's gone to the house to I'm very limited on tools here. She's gone to the house to start editing the first half of this video, so that's why the camera isn't zoomed in as much. Mind the bodgy tools. I'm sick of walking around into the shed. When I go and get another beer, I'll get the proper gear. It's actually Monday today, I'm on an RDO, so I don't have many days off, as you all know. And it's the 5/16 stud that holds these on either side. Hopefully the gasket's okay. Head's too big to put in there. Nope, it fell in the bowl. We've got big plans for the channel if we keep it going beyond 2024, into 2025. I've got another old earth mover I've bought that we're going up to get. I'll actually take that new trailer to get it beyond the Blue Kenworth. We'll film it, but there might be some other stuff up. Like he's got a collection of old earth movers, and that we'll definitely be getting going while we're up there. We'll spend the weekend with him. Good mate of mine, good family friend. Bottom of that bowl, I'd say she's constipated, it's all blocked up. Not a big problem. I've got the other jug on her. I'm just going to tighten it down. I just noticed the bloody, I should have done it while it was off, doesn't matter. The choke bracket's not on it, which probably should be. We'll suck that choke flap open or closed. more so. And 3 bolts probably should do it. I've had this elongated, you can see it moving. I elongated to fit a little Toyota 4P or 5P or something in this forklift I had, but I think she was just that rooted it didn't have enough compression to suck the fuel into it. Had some sort of Japanese carby on there and they were non-existent, but you can get these for next to nothing. I may have even bought this for it. Just have to loosen the bloody carby back off. The old fuel line's as hard as a bull's forehead and it's sort of rubbing on the rocket. We couldn't line it up, so it's not ideal, but it wasn't leaking either. Just pull it back down. I'll just hand control that throttle for the time being, see what she's going to do. Thought this would be a simple startup maybe 2 hours ago. okay. I've had a gutful of it. I've got it off the road. Run like a hairy goat, the bastard. So it used to run really good. It was missing last time, but not. It was still making power. Like you could take off on an idle when it was put in there. Like a fairly torquey little unit, these 202s, but could be the ignition, could be the carburettor, could be a inlet manifold gasket, could be that old fuel that I've mixed the new stuff with, could be the coil, like obviously the ignition. It's not the fuel pump, it's keeping up with it. But anyway, we could tune this one up, or we could get one of them other ones running on a stand. Could be compression, maybe the main reason you change it. Could be the camshaft. Tune one of them other ones up. I've got two 173s and a 186 up there that'll do the job just like this. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Should we tune this one up? Should we get one of them other ones going on a stand? And you'd have it in 3 hours, it'll be finished. If that, like you'd be driving it in 3 hours. How I did it, it's obviously still it's out of a manual car. Got the bell housing there. Obviously got the clutch and flywheel. That there was obviously a hydraulic. That's your clutch fork, so that went to a hydraulic slave cylinder, but I've made a rod up to adjustable that goes into the actual release of the clutch, so you can still use your hand clutch. It's not over center like they should be, but it works the same way. So it's just like putting your foot on it, but in your hand. That there is, that bearing should be in there actually. So that's the input shaft out of an M21 transmission. You can get M20, M21, different length for the V8 or a 6-cylinder. And you notice it was wobbling around a bit, so I've just eyed it up when I did all this with a stick welder many years ago. So that's the center out of the 318 I was going to put in it, out of the clutch a bit. It fit the Dodge gearbox. And it actually fit the cat spline, so I've welded it to the M21 so it fits the Holden clutch. So that's the actual input shaft out of V8 or a 6-cylinder. I'm not too sure. They're a fairly weak transmission, and that's got a tooth off it somewhere. I wouldn't have wrecked a good gearbox, but that's what happened to them. Used to take the tooth off that gear there. And then I just made a chassis up. So that's an adapter ring off I think it was a generator to a Ford Industrial diesel or something like that. I wired, obviously drilled it to suit the cat, but it was the right diameter. I just drilled it out to suit the Caterpillar one, and then made a chassis up out of some C-frame, C-channel. All done with a stick welder many years ago. These I found, and it fitted so that used to go to the sump on the cat engine for your cross or your equaliser bar or your equaliser spring. I just mounted it there so it holds the front of it up, and I made it the exact same length so the bonnet fit back on. So all C-channel, I just had a couple of lengths of it in the scrap, cut it all the length and made it up. Would I have done it any different now? Probably not. Would have done it a bit neater, but it all works, it holds it, nothing moves. I haven't modified anything. The exhaust out the same hole. Needs a belt run governor, so when it does load up it'll rev itself, but for those to work they've got to be tuned properly too, and this isn't. I don't know what the hell. That carburettor might be junk as well. Just because it was in there and clean doesn't mean it's any good. So starter was getting hot, so that wasn't real great. It's going through batteries like no tomorrow, but maybe that's that starter. That's the 4th battery I've had on it in the time I've been filming. When we first got it, the tracks were tight. Between dragging it with another tractor at the time and a come along, they end up letting go. So when tracks are tight like that, a worn out track won't seize because there's too much tolerance. So it's got to be in pretty decent order, because both were seized. Apart from that, there's not much else I did. I turned that neck there around for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but it wouldn't fit one way, it would fit the other. Pretty standard. If you took that out, I haven't cut anything to do with the original machine at all. So Tell me what you think about getting them other ones going or tuning this one up. We can do a compression test, we can get a reconditioned carby, we can do the dizzy up, we can put the advanced line back on it. It should run. Those are so powerful, those old things. Bit of a surprise package really, like they went well in some things. Big old heavy cars, and it should produce enough torque for this low geared thing. It always used to, so let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Look at that. Looks like a bloody beauty.
I hope you enjoyed those little nostalgic videos there. Mine, that was taken 16 odd years ago, so mind the footage. It's not how we film now, but I'm just showing you what we used to do, how we used to look even. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So please, as I said, please, if you want to see this channel go through past 24, please just click the like button and subscribe. That's all you got to do. Leave a comment, good or bad. I don't care if you like it or not, just comment please, it helps us. That's all I can say. If you want to see any more of this stuff after that Kenworth, we're pretty free again, so we might move on to another restoration or just tinker with a bit of this old stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments please, and again, thanks for watching. Thanks Patreon members. Thank you to all those subscribers and commenters. See you on the next one.